Well, most states mandate car insurance, and soon you could be forced to buy health insurance too. But get this, a new push in Texas could have dog owners paying for pet insurance. A state representative has introduced that you would have to require a liability insurance policy if your dog is unleashed and weighs more than 20 pounds. But is that fair? Here with both sides, Animal Fair magazine editor Wendy Diamond and trial attorney Herb Subin is here this morning. Can you guess which one is the animal lover?
I think I am. I think I'm
You're
an animal lover.
Really? All right, she's holding the dog, then I'll start with you.
I'll take the dog.
Some are saying this bill is outrageous, that you're going to force people to carry a $100,000 policy for an unleashed dog.
Well, first of all, I don't think so at all. Number one is that it's a kind of a narrowly written bill because it's only for large dogs that are male, that are unneutered, that are unleashed. Now, if you have a 90-pound Rottweiler, it can do a lot of damage. In my own practice, I've seen lots of people who've been really seriously injured by these big dogs. And if the owners aren't financially responsible, then the victims go uncompensated.
When do you disagree with that?
Well, first of all, they should be doing a law that makes everyone spay or neuter their dogs if they're not a show dog or a working dog where they need not to be spayed or neutered. Number one, because then that would defray a lot of these problems. People who have pets absolutely treat them as children. So they are responsible. They are responsible to make sure they train their dogs so they don't do bad things. It's not the dog's fault. It's the people's fault that have the dogs.
Which is why they should have coverage if they don't do a good job in training their dogs.
Absolutely not. People can barely afford health insurance for themselves, let alone for their dogs. Dogs are like one of the only thing that has unconditional loyalty and a bond to people. It's people's children. They cannot afford insurance. We should actually make a law that states people have to spay or neuter their dogs so that there aren't all these dogs and they're more responsible pet parents.
They might not be able to afford the
that they're
insurance, but they might not be able to afford the insurance, but can't they afford a leash? I mean, the law is pretty specific, and as Herb says, it's pretty narrow. Just having a leash on the dog would get you outside of actually having to buy this dog insurance. Just putting the dog on a leash and protecting it so it's not going over and biting other dogs.
Well, absolutely. Everyone should, of course, have a leash and a collar so that makes sure that they don't attack. But the law is stating that, what I read, the law is acting that everybody who has a male dog over 20 pounds, whether it's leashed or unleashed, should have insurance.
I know it's unneutered. It's also an unneutered.
Right, and well, that added. So meaning it doesn't matter if they have a leash or collar, they're still going to be forced to have this insurance.
What about the small dogs, Herb? Because that's a part of this, you know, Dana Perino here on the show yesterday, she has a 76-pound dog. She says in her experience, all of the dogs that ever come up and attempt to bite her or attempt to bite her dog are always the small dogs. Why was there this 20-pound limit? And, you know, is this thing going to actually get passed in the first place?
Well, it's in Texas, and there is a real need for it, first of all. According to what I've seen, there's over 5,000 people who are reporting being bitten in San Antonio alone in a year. I mean, that's a lot. And Texas has this absurd rule where it gives the dog owners one free bite, so that every dog can attack somebody, and then they're not responsible until the second time, assuming they're going to admit.
But isn't the policy outrageous? I mean, it's for car insurance, what, $20,000 policy?
Right.
Isn't it outrageous? $100,000 policy you're forcing upon people.
Because of the amount of damage that a large dog can do. If you've ever seen, they'll lose fingers, lose hands. It can destroy somebody's face. These are colossal damages, and so I would think that that's a very low number for the kind of injuries you can have from being maimed.
Wendy, a final word.
There are more children fighting in school playgrounds than there are dogs fighting in dog parks. So at the end of the day, children should have that insurance first.
Wendy and Herb, we appreciate you joining us this morning. You are a dog lover, even though you didn't bring a prop next time.
I need
Coming up, protests intensify as the Tea Party